Good morning, everybody. First off, I want to say I'm not an Eagles fan. I don't really watch football. I just wear it because I'm moving to Philadelphia, so get wrecked. Today is Sunday, and I have something that I really want to share with people because when I was younger, I didn't know this, and so I think I missed out on times where I could have had a job earlier in a different place. This video is gonna be about how I lived a year without paying for housing. Now, for some people that are well off, they're like, oh, well, I just pay for an apartment and then I just go wherever. I got a car, I got all this stuff. I don't need, provided housing. And then there's most of the American population that just are not rich or well off. We are like, okay, yeah, anything to do for anything, any kind of free something, we'll take it, Basically, how I did this was I researched jobs anywhere in the United States. And I was like, I'm going to apply in the state of Maine for fun. And apparently they're going to have housing. It's going to be great. Which I didn't know at the time that some jobs provided housing or there were specific websites that provided housing. So it was a new thing to me. Then I went there. I had the best experience of my life because at summer camp, you get your housing provided, you get food provided, you're literally set. And you get to meet so many people from all over the country. Not even over the country, but over the world, right? You got people from Ireland. You got people from Spain. You got people from Hungary. You got people from literally all over China, like all over, okay? And it's so good because it really expands your worldview. And befriending these people, now you have friends all over the world. So summer camp is really a special thing if you immerse yourself in it. But that is one way of getting a job with housing is summer camps. There's so many summer camps that are offered here in the United States, and literally anyone in the world can come and join a summer camp. I'm working at a summer camp right now. So I have free housing. Like this behind me, this is not my house. You kidding me? I wouldn't have that butterfly sign. It's just the housing that is paid for by somebody else. But I'm just living here with all my stuff at the current moment. But after this, I will have my own apartment and I'll move in for my first time at an apartment. And it's an experience, But I think, I'm also done with living with free housing, because there's upsides and downsides to free housing as well. However, the summer camp that I was at a year ago was good because, I was in a different state. There's all these people. My housing was provided, my food was provided. It was great. I was doing what I loved. I was filming. It was perfect. And then after that, I met Haley, and Haley was like, hey, I work at a job out in California that has free housing. It's kind of like this. It's like a camp style. You just teach science to kids and you kind of hang out with them. I said, another job with housing that I don't have to pay for housing? That's great. Because at the time, I had money, but I didn't have money to spend on an apartment. And especially out in California, there's no way I couldn't afford one. So I was like, okay, free housing out in California. I'm going to go live my dream, have that job, maybe get another job doing something that I love, And so I go out to California. Everything is paid for, my housing, my food. I made a lot of videos out in California, and when you have jobs with housing, one of the main things you need to do is explore all around the area you are in, because you may never be coming back to that same job ever again. So you have to take it in and explore every place around it. Like when I was out in California, we did Yosemite, we did Pinnacles, we did Santa Cruz, we did Berkeley, did all over. You know, we did what was close to us. We did San Francisco. So like exploring all around is something that's really, really important. I mean, when I was at my summer camp in Maine, we would have off days and we would kind of just go wherever. We would go to, you know, Bar Harbor. We would go to, I don't even know where we went to, Camden. All these like really small, cute towns we went to. Maine doesn't have, you know, much because it's all just, you know, trees and forest and ocean. But we explored all around there on our days off, which is what you should do. You should explore around everywhere, because that is how you travel for cheap. That's how you travel when you make money, right? You work somewhere and then you just travel all around, and then you leave that job and you go to another job. So that's kind of how you live cheaply, but also that's how you travel as well. Because I just moved all my stuff across the country for 9 months, and I worked at this outdoor summer camp, or outdoor science camp, and I worked there for 9 months. I can't believe it was 9 months. Yeah, I lived there for 9 months. Now, granted, it was not the best living situation, you know, in either the summer camp or the science camp, or even here. Like, most of the time, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. Most of the time, when there's free housing, the housing isn't the best. There's, you know, lots of structural things that could be wrong with the housing. There could be mice that live with you. I'm not joking. Like, you don't leave out food because they will eat it. There's most likely mice at almost every job supplying house. Okay, so there's mice, sometimes there's bats, sometimes there's other animals. You know, you never really know. And most of the time also, when you have jobs with housing, you have roommates. You have coworkers that live with you. And, you know, there's upsides and downsides to that as well. You know, if you really don't get along with them, you know, you have to go to work with them, but you also have to live with them. So that could be very taxing mentally. You know, there could be really good roommates and you could get along, you know. It's kind of taking that risk. It's like, how much do you want to travel, or how much do you want to, you know, job with free housing compared to like the people you live with. You know, they could be messy, they could be dirty, they could be clean, they could be, you know, smelly. They're like anything under the sun that you could think of. This is what happens. You know, this is my experience. So there's a lot of good things to go with free housing. And there's also a lot of cons, like how much can you deal with, you know, how much can you live with, you know, so it's all an experience. I feel like for me, if I would have known earlier, as soon as I got out of college, I would have done more jobs with free housing. However, I wouldn't have been able to do my TV show then, and probably wouldn't have been able to do all the small projects in Wilmington that I did. But I'm just telling you my experiences. You could have completely different experiences. You could have more positive experiences than me, or negative. But I'm just letting you know how to live without an apartment or paying for housing for a year, because I did that. So basically, there's so many websites that you can check out. Like, literally, you just Google jobs with free housing, and there's so many websites that pop up. You can even work overseas. Like, I know there's certain companies that you can go through where they allow you to work in another country, and you know, work there, have room and board and food, and then like on your off time you can go and explore that country, which is really cool. You can find them on Indeed. You can find them on like Coolworks is a good website. I mean, like, there's just so many job things. Like, you know, you can literally work in a national park, right? But here's the thing, you don't also get much choice as what you do. Most of the time it's like a retail salesperson, a teacher, or you're like sending someone down water slides, so it's jobs that nobody really wants to do, but you get that experience of wherever you are around here. Like here, right now I'm currently in Pennsylvania, right? So on our days off, we went to Philly. On another day off, we went tubing down the Delaware River. On another day off, we, went to a water park. So there's literally so many things that a job with free housing can offer you. And I think sometimes it outweighs the negative. Like living with mice, to me, I think it's worth it. Again, it's all opinion based. I'm just telling you what worked for me for a year. Now, I am totally down, to continue this kind of lifestyle. However, I am getting older and I'm not going to be on my parents' insurance a long time. So I need to kind of get a big girl job, or at least try to figure out what I'm going to do. So, and I've always wanted to live in a city. I've just been longing for the city. And I'm moving to a city and I'm happy about it. So I think that I'm going to get that experience, even though I'm paying for housing, but also now I can afford it a little bit more. And again, we can always switch up what we're doing. We can always work across the country, or, work in the United States again. But I think for me at this point in my life, I kind of want to just live in a city and kind of have some place to put my stuff. And I want that lifestyle, I want that busyness, city, everything, all the events are going on. I kind of want that lifestyle for now. Because I think, with summer camp with California, and this summer camp, I think, it's not really city-like. It is busy, but it's it's nature. You know what I mean? It's nature busy, where there's just activities going on. And, I want that, city life. I want to see what it's like. It's another experience. And then from then on else, I don't know what I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't think anybody does, but that's the plan for the next year. So, yeah, that's how I lived for a year with free housing and food included. And I think more people should do those jobs, just because you meet a lot of interesting people, and sometimes, you make lifelong friends through that thing, and sometimes you find travel buddies, sometimes you find your partner, so I think I highly recommend working at a summer camp or working at jobs with housing. I think it's a good way to start when you're fresh out of college, because you kind of get more of a sense of the world, I don't know. I need my coffee though. That's all I do now. I have yet to drink my coffee. I have frozen peanut butter in the fridge. Everything is looking up. Although I think it's because I'm taking my creatine. Because I never am that positive. Anyways, with all that stuff being said, I post every week on my Patreon page photos, shorts, and weekly videos. So go check that out. I would love the support. I'm working on getting a new filming setup, and it's gonna be a lot. So I would really appreciate the support or anything. I also have merch too, which, yeah, it's also linked in the description below. So if you want to go check that out, I would love that. And enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Think about that job with free housing. See ya.